Hello HP TouchPad users. Today I'd like to talk to you about doing some alternative method upgrades for the HP TouchPad. Recently we have Android 4.2 and Android 4.3 ROMs appearing for the HP TouchPad, but some users run into issues when trying to upgrade from one ROM to another. Now you can check out my posts here at Rootzwiki and the XDA's forums. Now I have some interesting information and helpful information here about upgrading your ROM. I'll tell you right here that flashing some CyanogenMod 10 and 10.1 ROMs over one another can cause boot loops. Also, even if you acme uninstall and reinstall, people are still experiencing problems like boot loops, Android errors, keyboards not installing, GS packages not flashing, things like this. Now there may be a problem with some residual data being stuck even when you uninstall and reinstall. So we're going to show you another way of getting around this today, another way to do a fresh, clean install by wiping the system data and cache partitions through Clockwork Mod. Now this is actually a fairly simple procedure, and anyone who has flashed ROMs before, this will make things a lot easier if you want to do a fresh install. So we're going to take you through this, we're going to do it step by step. Now the first thing you'll need to do is reboot your device into recovery. You'll do this by holding down the power button and bringing up the menu. You can select Reboot and go directly into recovery. You can also do a regular reboot in which you'll have 5 seconds to select recovery Clockwork Mod from the list and boot into it. Let's go there now. Here we are in Clockwork Mod recovery. Now the very first thing I recommend doing is making an Android backup. This is a full image of everything on your Android device. All the apps you have installed, the setup of your desktop and launcher, everything Android related. This won't back up the media on your SD card per se, like music and videos, but everything Android related will be backed up. You'll restore it to that day and it'll be exactly the way you left it. In order to do this, we go down to Backup and Restore. Select it with the home button. Now the very first option at the top is backup. Once you select this, this can take anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes to make a complete backup. Make sure you have a good charge when you're doing this. You don't want to run out of batteries while this is happening. Once you've made that backup, you can simply restore it by coming back here and going to Restore. In this list here, you can see all the different backups I have made. Now anytime I want to upgrade a ROM, I usually flash back to CyanogenMod 9 or 10. This gives me a safe starting point when I want to flash a new ROM and yet keep my old setup. I wouldn't recommend doing this with newer Android 4.2 and Android 4.3 ROMs. Now you can restore this at any point by simply selecting one and it'll go right back to the way you left it. Now we're all backed up. Let's talk about doing that fresh install. Now this is a little different than normal. It's going to still leave MuBoot and it's still going to leave Clockwork Mod on the device. We're simply going to delete all the data that has to do with the ROM. First off, go down to Wipe Data and Factory Reset. This will not wipe the data on the SD card, just everything Android related. We're now completely uninstalled. All that data has been wiped. We're ready to do a fresh install with our ROM and GApps package. Now we simply go down to Install Zip from SD card and choose our ROM. Choose Zip from SD card. I'm using the latest Evolved Nightly ROM with Android 4.3. Now that our ROM's installed, we'll just need to flash our GApps package, choose Zip from SD card, scroll down to the appropriate GApps package and install it. Now that our ROM and GApps package have been installed successfully, we're ready to reboot and try out our new version of Android. Simply go back and select Reboot System now. This will start us up just as if we freshly installed the ROM. None of our other data and information will be saved. We'll need to set everything up again. We'll need to log into the Google Play Store and all of that stuff. So this is like doing a fresh install without quite all the steps. Now I would highly recommend doing this for newer versions of Android, 4.2, 4.3 and up. Please subscribe to see the latest updates with the HP TouchPad and Android. Thanks for watching, everybody.